the robbers, they've made this plan and they're coming to her, and she sees them coming. So she thinks of a plan. She thinks of playing a charitar. She goes straight up to the robbers and she's like, hey, you could take all the money you want from my house, plus you can take me and you guys can engage in intimate relationships with me. But first, I have a condition. I want to feed you first. You know, you came to my house. I want to make sure you guys are full. You guys aren't going away hungry, you know. So robbers here are thinking like, well, this is a great deal. You know, here we are thinking it's going to be a conflict, it's going to be a struggle to get all this money. But it's an open invitation to take anything we want. Plus we get a woman. Plus we get food, you know, so what can go wrong? So it's a very interesting charitar indeed, very interesting story. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to a new episode in the Charitropakhyan series, where we explore the composition known as Charitropakhyan through analyzing the text and looking for different teachings that the Bani, the composition, gives to the reader. So we are now in the 32nd tale, the 32nd story, and it starts off with Chaupai sunoho niripat ek katha sunaun ta te tum keh adik rajaun. The mantris, the advisors to Charitropakhyan Singh, they say, hey, Charitropakhyan Singh, let me tell you another story that will teach you the ways of deception, the ways that you may be also being tricked as well. That's a subtle teaching that the advisor trying to give to the Raja Charitropakhyan Singh. Des Punjab ek barnari chandar lai jante ujiyari. In the Desh of Punjab, in the region of Punjab, there was this beautiful lady, and she was so beautiful that even people would say that it's like she got her beauty from the moon, you know. She's that of a beautiful lady. Ras manjari naam tehetriya ko nirka prabha lagat sukhjiya ko. Her name was Ras Manjari, and every time people would see her, they would go into a state of bliss, you know. So the poet here is describing describing the characteristics of this woman as being so physically enchanting, you know, that she's, you know, people say she's acquired her beauty from the moon. She's, you know, able to give that sort of happiness to whoever looks at her. Then one day her husband passes away and she's in a great state of pain. Dohra amit tarab ta ke sadna choran suni sudhar rain pari ta ke pare amit masala jar. So when her husband passed away, now she has no spouse, no partner, no one else living in the house besides herself, and she, you know, she's living in a mansion. She's very rich, you know, and because of this, people that around the area in Punjab, they want to take advantage, right? They know that this person is living alone, so thieves, they got together and set up a plan to invade her house and steal from her. So a bunch of thieves got together. Chaupai chor avat atanar nihare as paat so bachan uchare. Sun taskar main nar tihari apni jaan karo rakhwari. A bunch of these thieves, they came to her house and they didn't care if it was broad daylight, didn't care if it was nighttime. They just wanted to steal from her, and they knew that she had no protector. Ras Manjari, the woman in this episode, she sees them coming to her house. So this is days after her husband has passed away. Everything's done. All the programs are done. All the funeral programs are done. Everything's gone. And now she's home all alone. And the robbers, they've made this plan and they're coming to her, and she sees them coming. So she thinks of a plan. She thinks of playing a charitar, you know, she thinks of deceiving them because they're here to rob her. So what happens, the robbers pop in and she goes straight up to the robbers and she's like, hey, I am yours. and there was maybe a few different ways that she could have played this out. Maybe she could have ran away, but then she loses her possessions. Maybe she could have fought them, but there was too many of them. So what she does is she gives this sense of submission, that I'm submitting to you, right? She goes up to them, she says, hey, look, I'm yours. Whatever you need me to do, consider me as yours. Dohra, sab grehe ko tan tum haro hamhu sang la jaho. You could take all the money you want from my house, and take me along with you as well. Paat paat kar rein din moso kel kamaho. And day and night, and she entices them by saying, day and night you can enjoy me, right? You can take all the possessions of my house, plus you can take me, and you guys can engage in intimate relationships with me. प्रथम हमारे ताम को भोजन करो बनाए, पाछे मोहे ला जाए हो हृदय हर्ष उपजाए. But first I have a condition. Before you take everything in my house, before you take me away and you have anything you want to do, you can do whatever you want with me. Before all that, I want to feed you first. You came to my house. I want to make sure you guys are full. You guys are you guys aren't going away hungry. So robbers here are thinking like, well, this is a great deal. Here we are thinking it's gonna be a conflict, it's gonna be a struggle to get all this money, but it's an open invitation to take anything we want, and plus we get a woman, plus we get food. So what can go wrong? Pache mohe la jaye ho hriday har khub jaye. And then after that, you can take me away, you can be happy, do whatever you need to do. But first, let me feed you. Jo pai chor kahyo triye pali uchari, ab nari ta pai hamari. The robbers were like, this is great. This is such a great thing, and well, let's do it. We totally agreed to your condition. Pratham pach ke hame he khawab ho, ta pache murnar kahav ho. First, we'll let her feed her, and that way she'll become our woman, right? Like it's like almost like a symbol, like a ritual. She's feeding us, and therefore now she'll be ours. Dohra, chochta par tab toran choran dio charai, aap karahi char ka line bade pakai. So what did she do? She sent all the thieves upstairs, and she left one guy. One guy stayed back with her, that maybe the head chief of these robbers, right? All others went upstairs to a room. She closed the room and she started preparing food. But the food that she prepares will have a twist within them. Chope chor mahal par de chadai a mar tale ut ai. She puts them upstairs, she locks the doors, and she comes downstairs. Baith tel ko po japkayo adik bikhat peh tahi milayo. So she sits there and she's making the food, but as she's making the food, unknowing to that the person that's next to her, the chief of all these robbers, she puts in a high dosage of poison in all the foods. She's preparing all these different meals, but as she's preparing them, she's adding in poison. Dohra dar mohra poj mein choran deo khwaye nikas aap avat pahi talo drid kar laye. Okay. She went inside to the room. She brought the chief with her. The chief is still downstairs, making sure everything's going good. There's no type of mistakes happening here. She goes back upstairs to where all the thieves are, and she gives them the food. She gives it out. She comes out the door. She locks the door now, puts a lock on it, and comes downstairs. Chopai has ban chor so kah ta ko hath so kah. And that chief, the main guy, she starts to, be fond with him. She starts like laughing with him, starts, calming him down, just talking, having small talk with him. Slowly, she gives her hand to him. He holds her hand, and he's fully on board that this lady is now gonna become ours, right? This lady is fully like, she's showing affection for me. Batan so tako birmava bathi aap tel avatava. So as she's talking to him, and she's she's comforting him, and she's warming him up, on the side she warms up a huge pot of oil. She's warming up oil in the saucepan. in the pot. Dohira tel jabai tato peo taki drist pachaye. Dar sees taake deo mario chor jarahi. When that oil got, fully warmed up, it's hot now. She grabs the oil, just like with a sly look on her face, and she just throws it on his face, throws it on that chief's face. Chor Raj Jarke Mario, Chor Mario Bikhai. And his face is burning. She takes the oil, she just drowns the oil all over his body, and he's burning, he dies. And that same way in the room, the thieves, they ate the food, they're also showing signs of being poisoned. One person sees the other person, they say, hey, your mouth is foaming up. The other person getting unconscious, people are falling down, trying to open a door, the door doesn't open because it's locked from the outside. And then she goes, she does this whole act, and she herself goes to the police station and lets them know, like, hey, a bunch of robbers came to my house, but I took care of them. And this is where the charitra ends, the 32nd charitra. And here you can kind of take away that deception, and this has happened before as well, where deception is played for the person's benefit, right? It's like not all deceptions are played to necessarily. Well, I guess the idea here is that the deception itself is a neutral thing, right? It can either help you or destroy your life, right? It can help preserve your life, or it can destroy your life, right? In this case, it helped save her life, right? She saved herself from all these robbers, right? By playing this deception. So it's a very interesting charitra indeed, very interesting story. I'd love to hear what you guys took away from this story, and down below in the comments, and I will be reading them. And to follow along for more content, especially behind the scenes content, please follow us on Instagram. Stories of Deception is our Instagram handle, and I hope to see you in the next one. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.